Hey, I'm Dan Thomas from Coach Thomas Tech. I'm a middle school STEM teacher from Jamestown, New York, and just excited to be here on the podcast with Gabe here.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for agreeing to be a part of the show. And you're doing your own show. You're doing your own thing, man. And I just want to tip my hat to you and I'm going to give you a little round of applause right here for everything that you're doing. Congrats being a part of the X Factor EDU podcast network, right?
Right. Couldn't find a better place to be. Matt and those guys over at X Factor are awesome.
Yeah. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Now, we've been connected for quite some time on social media. We've probably crossed paths at a couple of conferences here and there, but we've never actually recorded.
Nope, never. I think this is the first time we've ever met in person.
Yeah, and that's a statement we can never say. Because it's the past.
It's the past.
We're here. Past. We're here. We've officially met, and we're officially recording as we speak. Today's date, ladies and gentlemen, is officially the 15th of January, 2024. But you might be listening or watching this 2032. Who knows? But just know that this was recorded the 15th of January, 2025. Can't believe we're already halfway done with January.
Halfway done with January and a quarter of the way through the 21st century already.
That's right. We are 1/24th.
We are.
Mathematically speaking.
We are.
All right. Now, I was watching some of your social media posts and reels and things like that you were posting on your way to FETC. And you're posting, I forgot their names. Yes.
Surprise.
S-I-R.
S-I-R. Surprise. Yes.
Okay. To somebody who might be seeing this from afar, looking at it, they see a toy. Now, is that kind of a backhanded slap to the face to you, Dan?
Not at all.
No? Okay.
Not at all. I'm all about playing with stuff and having some fun, and I use Lego products in my classroom, Lego bricks and minifigures as a catalyst to get kids to be creative and think.
All right. Talk to us about that Lego journey.
Oh, my gosh.
When did it start? 5, 6 years old?
Yeah, even if it was that early.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, I've played with Lego for forever, and it's just such a classic toy.
Yeah.
Tool. It's it's an educational tool because it does so much, and it allows you to do so much.
Okay. All right. How many Lego sets do you have at home? Built, glued, on display.
Oh my.
And in the classroom.
In the classroom, I don't have sets in the class. I have one set. I have the Everybody's Awesome set, which has the different colors that represent the different needs and different races and LGBTQ and all that stuff. So it's an all-inclusive set, which is pretty awesome. And the kids really enjoy that. In my classroom, I have about 100 pounds of just bulk Lego that we play with every day.
Wow. Legos don't weigh too much. That's a lot of Lego. That's a lot of brick.
That's a lot, yes. And it gets used on the daily.
Okay. All right. So talk to us. What does that look like? If I'm an administrator in your building and I walk by your class and I see students with Legos, to the untrained eye, to somebody who's not in your world, somebody who doesn't understand that STEAM, that play in the classroom, what is actually happening?
Well, usually, you know how a lot of teachers start their day with a bell ringer. Either it could be a worksheet. You're doing your administrative stuff. So instead of doing a bell ringer that's a worksheet or board work or something like that, I'll give my kids a build to do. So in that build could be a 2-minute build, a 5-minute build where they're doing something individually, and it could be just about anything. It doesn't necessarily even have to relate to what we're doing in class that day. Sometimes we build a chicken, build something that flies without wings or moves without wheels, build a chair, stuff like that. And then we talk about them a little bit. So that might be a 5-minute build, or I'll do a little bit more extended build, and because of the way my room's set up, I got 3 or 4 kids at a table, so they'll do a team build. That might be a little bit more involved. Build a boat, build a house for a surprise here, stuff like that. So what that does for us is that gets the kids energized and engaged and gets the creativity flowing, because when you're playing with the Lego, one, you're having fun, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
So it's not typical schoolwork. But on top of that, you're addressing a multitude of cognitive skills that you can't do with a worksheet, or really, to be honest with you, with anything else, because you just got to start putting things together. And your hands, one of the big Lego education philosophies is your hands know what to do. Sometimes our mind gets in the way, right? So we build things, and there's a multitude of cognitive skills, and it's even social emotional learning that's in there too. So there's a lot of stuff involved with that in a little simple 5-minute build. And what's nice about it too is the bricks could have meaning, right? So a color could have meaning, or a shape could have meaning that might not be just a 2x4 brick.
Okay. All right. Now, there.
Always a troublemaker.
Just a fan always just walked by. All right. There's two types of people in the world that I know of. You either love Legos or you absolutely hate them.
True.
What do you do? 'Cause I'm positive you have kids who just don't like Legos. What do you do in those scenarios, or do they eventually kind of buy into it?
To be honest with you, those kids are few and far between. So I've actually had a 7th grade boy come into my classroom who's told me at age 12, I've never played with Lego before.
Whoa.
Never played with Lego.
Okay.
So, and I bring this up to a lot of people too. We gender stereotype toys.
Oh, big time. See, now we're cooking with grease. Okay.
Right. We and I even brought this up to my wife, and she kind of got a little put off on it. And I'm like, thinking about the toys we bought our kids growing up. I have a boy and a girl. I made my daughter a little kitchen set, but what did my son get? He got a toolbox. Why can't my daughter get the toolbox and the Lego? Now for Christmas, my daughter gets Lego, and she goes and puts them together.
Okay.
And it's kind of therapeutic, that clicking the bricks together, in the ASMR of the bricks kind of rattling. Now, if you step on them, that's a different story.
That was actually a point I was going to bring up later, but I'm glad you covered that. But yeah.
So there's a lot of it's sometimes it's just a little therapy.
I can definitely not only see that, but I can hear that. There's a distinct click.
Yes.
And it doesn't come from any other brand than the actual Lego brand.
True.
Yeah, and there's the feel when they snap into place, when you neither know that they're sitting right, or
Yep.
right off the bat, like, oh, this isn't sitting all the way it's supposed to be, kind of thing. But there's so much mind involved, there's so much thinking involved, that whatever is weighing on you, it just kind of melts away.
Because you're into different parts of your brain.
Okay.
You're thinking, you're being creative, you're engaged, and I think that's, and you're solving problems, because you got these bricks and these builds that we're doing, but it might not be. You can't necessarily do exactly what you want to do, so you got to problem solve a little bit. You got to critically think, and you got to try things. And what's nice too is you can take them apart, and you can put them back together. So it's not just a one and done. So many times we do stuff in schools, in the classroom, and it's a one and done. Like, hey, we're going to build this bridge, we're going to throw some weight on it, and it's going to break, and yippee, what do we do, right? Yeah. The Lego, we can put it together. Oh no, this isn't working. Oh, I found this piece, I'm going to take it apart and redo it. And that's that piece, that iteration piece, that as educators and people, and when our kids get their jobs, when they leave the classroom, that's what's going to transfer outside of the classroom. Those soft skills that the employers are looking for.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad that you said that, because that problem-solving piece is a big one. And I might not have like that 1x8 that I'm looking for, but I might have 2 1x4s kind of thing. So you have to. There's a lot of math involved too.
Oh heck yeah.
Yeah, and there's that spatial intelligence. I know some people don't believe that the intelligence is in that, but there's a lot of spatial thinking and the visualization of, and there's a couple different mentalities that you could take in. Like if I'm a student in your class and you're what did you call it? Your morning build?
Yeah, but just my bell ringer build. Just a daily build.
Your daily build. If you're asking me to do a chair, you're going to have some students who don't picture what they want that end product to look like. They're just going to start building.
Yep.
And make it in a way on the fly that it looks like a chair. And then you're going to have those who plan. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll do a build like around Halloween, we do a pumpkin.
Okay.
Right? So they're all hunting for orange bricks. Every year at Christmas time in December, Lego group does a challenge, and you build a shape and you tweet it out on social media, and then Lego will give a bricks to a group that for underprivileged kids that would not get a Christmas. So this year was a heart. It's been in the past. It's been a star or something.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
I forgot what the hashtag is off the top of my head, but we do that every year, and we tweet out some hearts this year, and then the kids. Lego gives away like a couple million little sets of toys to kids that would have
never seen a Lego otherwise,
or have a Christmas. So that's a phenomenal thing to do, and so the kids hunt for red bricks then. But
Okay.
I'm like, you don't have to have a red brick, right? Because you could have meaning to anything.
And technically, a pumpkin is orange when it's ripe.
There you go.
It starts off as green.
It does.
Yeah. There's different.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, and delicious too. Delicious too when you
in a pie.
In a pie, yeah, for sure. So, as we're sitting here talking, I've seen you multiple times in the past 24 hours. I didn't realize you had a branded hat, man.
Yeah, I
Coach Thomas Tech with the actual Lego brick.
That's my logo, and surprisingly enough, Lego's okay with it.
Okay, all right. Have you copyrighted that at all?
I have not yet. But
yeah, I would get on that.
But it's great because that's what I do. I play with Lego bricks, and
that's right on brand for you.
Because they're universal, and they can be used in a STEM classroom. They can be used in an ELA classroom.
Yeah.
Social studies class. It doesn't matter. Kindergarten. My high school kids that I get come in when the Lego bricks come out. They are so excited because remember, I don't care if they're 5 or 18. They're kids.
Yeah. Even as adults, we're still builders.
Right.
We still have that kid in us.
Right. And sometimes we forget that as teachers because we're with those kids so much that we forget that they're kids. Even the 18-year-olds, right? Even the seniors in high school, they're kids. We try to make them adults.
Yeah.
But I'm 54. I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
Right. I'm kind of stuck in that 12-year-old mentality, and my wife kind of, rolls her eyes heavily at me.
It is all good, man. All right. Now, let's say that there's a teacher watching or listening and says, you know what, I think I want to try that. I want to do that. What are some simple things that teachers can do, or what are some ways that they can get their hands on some bricks to actually get this started in the classroom? Oh, before you answer that, think about it. You know what else is universal? Food. Right there to your right, sir, we have some pastries from Mecato's Cafe here in downtown Orlando. So it's those are called quesitos. So it's a flaky crust like a puff pastry with cheese. With a little sugary.
Oh my!
I can't explain it. Just eat it, man.
We don't have these in Jamestown.
Okay. Well,
we do have some good bakeries in Jamestown.
Okay. Yeah, and pizza's a whole different conversation you and I need to have. So, a little sweet, a little savory.
That's
right?
not bad.
Not bad at all. So, all right. How can teachers get started? Because as you're talking, I'm thinking this is something that I could be doing. I could start this at home. I'll slap a $20 bill in the middle of the dinner table and say, we have to the end of the week. We're all going to build a heart or a chicken or something, and we'll tweet it out on social media, and the one that gets the most votes gets that 20.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of it too, I don't do as a competition.
Yeah. My kids are competitive. My kids are competitive.
Well, sometimes I do because I'm a coach.
You're a coach. Yeah.
I coached football and swimming for years because that's what we did. That's what I did.
Yeah.
So I take that mentality into the classroom. But how can you get started? Just you can ask your parents. Put with something. Hey, I'm looking for some Lego. I bought mine from Atlanta Brick Company because they sell them by the bulk.
Okay.
There's a math problem there too, which is kind of funny. And I'll share that in a little bit. But I just buy bulk Lego. My son's got a ton of Lego. Like he's got some stuff that fell off the ceiling of his room that are now in pieces.
Okay, like hanging.
Yeah. He was into Star Wars, so he's got the Millennium Falcon and a couple
the Death Star.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he had.
But yeah, you don't need much. You just need something.
Okay. Something is better than perfect.
And you can, and you can just go to Walmart or Target or whatever and buy the creative set.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of Lego robots in my classroom as well too.
Okay.
That play well with a lot of things, and there's a lot of other products, educational products that work with Lego. They're adaptable to using Lego bricks. So
yeah.
But yeah, somebody's got some laying around.
Yeah.
Those are things that don't go away. Like I know in my house we've saved, my kids are 26 and 22, and I still have little people in Geotrax trains in my basement because those things are timeless.
Yeah, they are.
As our Lego. In today's Lego will work with the original Lego. So they haven't changed since, now the first Lego they didn't snap together. So
really?
That was an adaptation.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so they all work together. Even the Duplos work with the regular Lego bricks.
And Duplo is made by Lego, right? It's
yes.
just their bigger version for the
younger kids
who don't have those fine motor skills yet.
Yes.
And whose parents don't want their kids to swallow that stuff.
True story. True story. And yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so you got tons of stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I use AI a lot to help me generate some ideas.
What's that?
What's AI? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a whole different episode.
I've heard something about that lately. But yeah, we just have fun with it because it's interactive and it's creative and it just lends itself to so much, and it's fun. You got to have fun in the classroom. You got to play.
That's a F word that is kind of, you can't say in the classroom anymore. Is fun, right?
I shout it from the rooftops.
Oh, gosh. Whatever happened to that? Yeah. And, if you're a teacher thinking about this and you don't have, or, I don't have the money to go out and get them, I'm not sure. Maybe I put it out there, my parents, the parents of my students can't put in right now. There is a company out there that's going to use this as a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll throw in $100 to, in San Antonio, we have Mini Bricks and Figs, I think it's called. I'm not sure if they're a national chain, but you could buy them by the pound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way I bought mine.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And then you don't need a whole lot.
You just need something.
Yeah.
And you could do, small groups, you can do individuals. Yeah, I'm a big PBL person too. So project-based learning. So one of the key aspects of project-based learning is the community partner.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are afraid to go out and ask them. But think about this. One, they're your parents. They're the parents of your students or the students in your school. They pay taxes in your school.
Stakeholders.
Definitely. And they're the people that are going to be hiring your students. So they have a vested interest in what happens in your school because that's going to be their employees and their customers. And you don't think about that. And it's not a heavy lift to bring them in. Like we're sitting here having some pastries, talking. Yeah. Friday morning, you get some coffee and donuts from the coffee shop. You invite in a half dozen, 10, 15 community partners to a breakfast. You bring some kids in and you talk. And you say, these are things that are going on. That's not a heavy lift. And now you got some allies, and you can reach out and say, hey, do you think I'm looking to buy some bricks? Do you think you could send me $50?
Yeah.
Or they might, so, and again, you have to go through your administration first with this.
Always.
Because I'm the guy that gets in trouble for all that stuff.
Because you're receiving a gift or a donation to a public education.
Well, sometimes administrators don't like you to beg.
Yeah, it makes them feel like, oh.
And I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So, always run through your administration first. But you got that community partnership, they want to come in. And what that does, too, is when you're working in the classroom and you're working on some projects and you're doing stuff, you have an authentic audience, and it makes it relevant to your kids. Right, so now you got this project you're working on, and it could be an ELA project, it could be a social studies project, it could be a STEM project. But now you have that authentic audience that's not you, because you and the kids talk the same language, right? You talk the edubabble, and they know what to say.
I've never heard that edubabble. I like that.
So you know, we're good at that edubabble speak and talking to each other with all our TLAs, our 3-letter acronyms that we have in education.
It's a whole other language.
And but the community partner doesn't know that. So you coach the kids up a little bit when you have these meetings, but how hard of a lift is it to spend $20, $30, $40 to get a couple dozen donuts and some coffee from the coffee shop?
Yeah.
Throw it in a room and have some kids come and talk to them and explain to them what they're doing. Because what that does too is now that business owner goes back to the Chamber of Commerce meeting.
Yep.
And now you got and now they're saying, hey, those kids over there at Smithtown High are doing some awesome stuff. Instead of, did you see that teacher that got in trouble over there?
Oh God,
Or did you see the idiot the idiot at the football game or whatever?
Yeah.
So now you've got some allies.
You got some advocacy in your corner.
Right, and you've got some authenticity, and you got some realness, and the kids the kids today want that.
Yeah.
They want that real
authenticity.
Yeah, they want to make a difference.
Yeah.
They really do, and I think that's kind of the difference with the kids today than maybe when I went to school back in the late 1900s.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's true.
It is. I mean, and I'm lucky enough to teach at my alma mater. So
that's awesome.
So they let me out for 5 years for good behavior.
Okay.
And or not. But now you got that kid that's solving a problem in the community.
Yeah.
That is real, and you can send them to the city council. You can send them to the old folks' home to build a garden, and now you're doing math skills that are relevant, or you're doing a lot of those soft skills that our employers want, that we don't necessarily overtly teach to each other.
Yeah. Because
it's hard. But PBL and Lego bricks and fun in the classroom covertly does that. And the kids don't realize they're doing it. And if they're having fun, they don't realize they're learning.
Oh, no. It's a win-win. It absolutely is, man. I feel like I could talk to you for hours, but I know you got a busy schedule in that too. So
sure.
Let's point everyone to where they can connect with you and learn a little bit more about what you do.
Well, I'm on all the socials at Coach Thomas Tech. So that's my handle, and if you follow me, I post a selfie and a dad joke every day.
Every morning.
And there's a story there. But I also have a website, CoachThomasTech.com, that you can head to. It's a work in progress, and you can catch me on my podcast, the Tech Ed Clubhouse podcast. I chose that because I like to play golf.
Okay.
So hopefully there's some things coming down the road there. With some new innovations. I'm not sure how it's going to look yet, but we're going to incorporate a little bit more golf, because I think golf in life match. You can hit a great shot and get a bad result, and you can hit a terrible shot and end up in the middle of the fairway, and that's kind of what a day in the classroom looks like.
You could be in the sand and
right.
Just go to your car and go home.
That's it. We've all been there, and it's a good day.
Yeah. It's the saying, or at least for fishing, a bad day fishing is better than a great day at work.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Sounds good, man. Well, I'll point everyone, all that information is going to be in the show notes, and links are going to be in there. That way you can connect. You can do a little bit more with Lego and connect with Dan in this pod. Name the podcast one more time, man.
Tech Ed Clubhouse Podcast.
All right. Sounds good, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you for everything you contribute to our educational space. And as always, safe travels and buen provecho, my friend.
Yes, thank you very much, Gabe.
All right.